What's going on? Mr. Tony's Hip Hop School in full effect. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Seriously, like, share, subscribe, please. Please. Hey, I was thinking, Method Man and Redman, right? You know how, now this is more directed to dudes. You know how you have your best friend, right? Now, for me, I'm going to talk about one of my best friends that I hung out a lot with. I'm not going to say his name, but there was a period in my life we hung out a lot, right? So when I see Method Man and Redman, I actually had two friends that I hung out a lot with. And it's funny because Method Man and Redman, he used to always say I was Method Man, he was Redman. Because he was wild. He was real wild, but he thought like me when it came to females, right? So, but I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about my other boy that I hung with. Me and him was like this, right? When I see Redman and Method Man, right? Now, I don't watch TV anymore. I don't really watch, I be on the internet, yes, YouTube. But when I used to see Redman and Method Man, when you have a best friend like that, you hang out with this person all the time, you go clubbing, you chase women, you hang out at their crib, they hang out at your crib, you drink with them, get high with them, whatever. I always drank. I never smoked weed, none of that. I tried it a few times, yes. May have gotten a contact from weed. I've had friends that smoked it religiously and still do to this day, but that ain't my thing. I was a drinker. So when we used to go out, you think about a lot of shit. Like your best friend is somebody that you could confide in. You could tell them secrets. You could tell them shit you won't tell your own parents. You know what I mean? There's shit that you do. Like let's say if you had a girlfriend or a wife or something, you do some shit, they not gonna tell. They got a wife or girlfriend, they do some shit you not gonna tell. And when I see Redman and Method Man, they just remind me of my relationships with some of my best friends that I used to hang out with back in the day. And how, a lot of dudes can relate to this, man, because this is the way it was, man. It might still be like that, I don't know. I mean, from what I see, it'd be a lot of motherfuckers gossiping and fucking arguing over stupid shit. Where back in the day, nah, we were always a united front. I've had friends that I've been very blessed because I've always had either friends that knew a lot of motherfuckers or they was a fucking goon or they just wasn't a bitch. And I'm not saying I was a bitch. I wasn't a bitch neither. But I was more of a pretty boy and just chasing women. That was my claim to fame. Chasing women. I should have that on my chest. A woman chaser. But when you that close with your boy, and even females can say this go for females too. The more I think about it, you got your because just like if you're a guy and you meet females, and this has happened with me and this particular person, we've met females at the club, left the club, went home with these females, right? And he might have been seeing somebody. I don't really think I was seeing people back then when I was hanging with him, but I was like off and on with people. But, you know what I mean? Like, whatever happened, you talk about what may have happened, and then that's the end of it. Like, you not going over to your mom's house having dinner, and your man come over, and hey, Rob, remember what happened that night with the girl? Like, no. None of that happens. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing I hate about social media. I honestly like social media. just take out all the gossiping and all the fucking, this rapper said this and like, come on, man, with that nonsense, stupid shit. But I'm just learning to ignore that stuff. I don't even pay that stuff no mind anymore. But it's just that, say when you broke, right? And you go out. Now, this is when gas was a whole lot cheaper. So, you know what I mean? You could find some change in the motherfucking change joint. Throw some gas in the car. The gas gonna last you for another 2-3 days. But your boy, he hit you up. He'll beep you. You know what I mean? You call him back. Yo, man, just getting dressed, man. You wanna go out? Nah, man, I'm broke, man. Man, I got you, man. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of miss stuff like that, Like, no, I don't miss that being broke shit, no. But, the camaraderie, man, like, and then if you hanging with somebody that think like you, that shit is priceless, man. They think like you. They don't like a lot of, how, like, I never was a dude that drove my car and had a whole bunch of people in my car. I never cared for that. It was either just me or my boy or my girl. That's it. I ain't want nobody in the back. There was a few occasions I would do it only because the other person I was real cool with them. But for the most part, nah, you're not getting in my shit. Because I had a clean car. Whatever I had, it was clean. And I always like being with people that thought like me anyway. And I don't want somebody like in the back seat, you driving and shit, and this idiot, hey ma. You know what I mean? Turning the female off and shit. When me and my boy, whoever it was, we already had our little system on how to pull women. So you get this clown in the back talking all this stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. Nah. So, but it was just like the camaraderie. You out late at night. One of my boys, man, we used to go out to the club, right? And back in the day, clubs stayed open late as shit. Or you go to the after hour. But some of these clubs we went to, they stayed open late. Till 4 in the morning, right? So we would leave, or sometimes we would leave out of the ones that closed at 2. And I would take him home, so he would fall asleep. And just before we get to his crib, he used to live around the corner from a gas station. And this nigga would wake up. I never woke him up, nothing. He would just wake up. Don't forget my Slim Jims. I'm like, how the hell I was around the corner from your crib? And I'm flying, because a lot of times I would hurry up and get him home so I can go see somebody that I met in the club. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to hurry up and get him home and get back. And then he be talking about, he be like, yo, Slim Jims. That shit was crazy. But I just think about stuff like that, man. Like, I remember a time when I went to a bar with him, and I was a little fucked up that night too. And so I was a little off my square, because when you out and shit, you supposed to be like aware of shit. So I'm in there and shit, and this motherfucker was like, I don't know if he ain't like, I don't know what it was, but he wanted to, it was something about a seat. And my boy just like, he pushed me to the side, like I guess he saw I was a little too fucked up. And cause the boy, he ain't do nothing, he ain't like stepped to me or nothing, he just was on some like trying to be husky shit. Like, nah, nigga, this is my seat. But I was kind of a little out of it. So, and my boy was like, yo, I got this. Nah, man, yo, nah. And then I sat down and shit. I felt like the next day I thought about it, I was like, damn. Felt like a fucking woman and shit. Like, this nigga had to take up for me and shit. But I really was kind of out of it. I was a little fucked up. So you know how like after a while it wear off, or you eat something and then you good. Like, that's how it was. But I really wanted to get back onto, like, you know, you hang out with your boy, stuff happen, and it's never talked about again, unless it's just you and him and y'all laugh about some shit or whatever. But it's just, that just shows you how many lies and secrets is out here. And people act like they so holier than thou, you know what I'm saying? Where people just need to keep it real. Fuck that. Now, I'm not saying you come out and tell what the hell you was doing. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, don't just act like you so fucking pure, like you above being, you above doing some dirt. You know what I mean? Because everybody do dirt. Everybody has done it, continues to do it. Now you might have learned from that shit and then, like, all right, I'm not doing that no more. I'm gonna be more righteous and all that. Yeah, but the thing with your, like, even with females, man, like, you know, I used to mess with some females that was married and stuff like that, and they used to tell me shit, and like, there'd be women that you would never think would cheat on their husband. I know, I ain't shit, I know, but that was 20 years ago, man. I'm not talking about now. I would never do that now. I wouldn't have did that 10 years ago. You know what I mean? I'm talking about when I just was just raw and just a dog. I'm talking about a dog. I was like that. But, you know, females, man, they do shit and you'll never know they did anything. And only them and their girlfriend know. I've been with a few, and they you know, they clean themselves up, tighten that shit right back up like nothing ever happened and shit. That shit crazy, man. You know what I mean? And be talking, and then, like, you see them again, and let's say you at a function and you see them and shit, and they be like, girl, that nigga ain't shit. Cheating on his wife. Oh, they've been together for 10 years. I'm looking at this motherfucker like, are you serious? That's how it be out here, man. That's how it be. And it's worse now. Because back then, at least people had a little more tact about themselves. But now, man, shit. Motherfuckers be posting shit. I'm like, man. But anyway, hey, man, shout out to Redman and Method Man and EPMD. And K Solo. I keep leaving him out, but K Solo, Redman and Method Man, y'all are throwback. Redman and Method Man are throwbacks, man. I'm talking about as far as, like, their relationship. They still friends. Like, look at all these motherfuckers that they was, and EPMD too. Look at all these motherfuckers that been together back in the day, right? And now they broke up. Now this motherfucker owe me money. He did this. I ain't spoke to him, and EPMD broke up over some money too. Over some cause you know they had groups under them. So they broke up, but they got back together. They squashed that shit. You know what I mean? Nowadays it'd be a big thing on Instagram and fucking social media. Oh, he said this and he said that with that fucking soap opera gossipy bullshit. But then that's another thing. Like, these dudes are still together after, what's that, since 93? That's what, 28 years ago? Yeah, 28 years ago? Woo! You know what I mean? But you know, with our people, you know, they ain't on, you know, oh, these guys were friends and making music together since 93. They ain't gonna say that shit. But as soon as they break up, they'll make a big deal about it. Man, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Love them, man. Hope they come up with a new album. I know it ain't gonna have the flavor as the ones in the past, but fuck it. I'll take anything over this bullshit that's out now. I'll take it. Give me that. That's like going to the store. You want vanilla ice cream. You want vanilla bean. And all they got is chocolate and vanilla. Give me chocolate and vanilla. Give me that. Hey, Mr. Tony's Hip Hop School, please support the channel. Like, share, subscribe, share this shit. Show other people. Look at the old videos. Tell me what you like. Comment. I do get back. I do check out what people say. Peace.